Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Joel Bayer, and we are back with a quick 5 reacts. I'm not doing it alone today. I got my guy living his best life, looking good, Mr. Rio Ferdinand. How you doing, bro? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just obviously it's the last day of the transfer window, just waiting to see what happens. And normally you get a couple of mad ones that come out of nowhere. So hopefully we're sitting there waiting for something to unfold, man. Hopefully Man United do a bit more business. We just see Reguilon and the young Turkish goalkeeper have come in, which is great. But I think there's Amrabat maybe the icing on the cake with that.
Amrabat, obviously he's probably the big one to come in. And I think people are excited. From what you've seen of him, what is it that you like about him?
Well, I watched him closely at the World Cup. I managed to see him live, I think, 2 or 3 times. Even against France, he was very, very good as well. I think defensively, he'll give us that great cover from someone like Casemiro. If he ends up missing games or he's resting or anything like that, I think he's a great kind of person to come in. At times, we're going to need to play with 2 6s, 2 pivots at times. And I think he'll be someone who can come in. And that's what he's there to do. He's a skilled um, six, like deep player, someone that's his job, that's his role. He understands that role. We've had players like Fred, McTominay, no disrespect, they wanted to do well, they're hard workers. But I've always said that when you look at their player ID, one of it, and there was never defensive understanding or defensive nous in their identikits. This guy has that. That's his game. You look at his stat sheet. He don't score goals. He's not a
Mhm.
creator. He's an enforcer. He stops other teams playing. He's very very cute in his positional sense, and he's very disciplined. And those are traits that you need as a defensive midfielder.
He's thought of very highly as well, obviously, in Fiorentina. And I remember Jose Mourinho had
Yeah,
glowing reports about him. Do you reckon he's going to be taken well by the United fans?
100%. Because I think Manchester United fans they respond well to people that work hard
Hmm.
and give everything for the badge. And I think he's one of those that he won't give up. He'll make sacrifices in his own game for the team and for other individuals to benefit. So I think that's vital, and I think he's a player very much needed. I think discipline in the way that Eric Ten Hag wants to play is key. I think you're going to have a lot of players that want to fly on and do stuff. You've got the likes of Bruno, who's got a bit of freeness in the way he plays. Marcus, when Hoyland gets fit, Anthony or Sancho, etc. on the wide areas. There's a lot of freeness to be able to go forward and attack in numbers, but you need those defensive responsibilities taken care of. And he's one of those guys that will be happy to do that.
Um, you know me, this is not a shot, but I do care a lot about player discipline. I look at that quite a lot, and I've noticed he's got 16 yellow cards in all competitions last season. I mean, you're talking about covering Casemiro, who also missed quite a lot of games. Man United could have a situation where you're missing both of them if you're not careful, man. Is that a side that he's going to have to watch out for? Obviously, the Premier League's a little bit quicker as well. What is he going to have to do, man, to sort that out?
Yeah, well, all players need to adapt. And I think if he can do that quickly, then he'll be fine. But the game is quicker than Serie A, definitely. But he's an international footballer who played well on an international scene. So hopefully he's got the common sense and concentration to be able to make sure he's right. I think someone like Casemiro, of his last year experiences, missing games because of a bit of ill discipline here and there, and maybe naivety towards the league, he may be able to give him a point in the right direction in that front.
Mhm. And obviously, it's a loan move. 10 million euros. Is there an option to buy? Do you reckon it's a similar situation with Sabitzer last year? They want to see how well he does, or is it a financial fair play situation that's stopping you guys from making permanent buys?
I think that's it. The financial fair play might have to be a loan with an obligation to buy.
Mhm.
Because listen, I think the player, I think the respect that he has at the football club at Fiorentina has meant that this deal has been able to happen. He's pushed it from his end and said, "I want to go," and the club have been able to enable that to happen. But also, Man United financially, they can't go out and put the fee down that's required for him. So a loan at this stage is the way it has to be. Similarly to probably the fullback position, a little bit different, but Reguilon's come in now. And he's coming on a loan, but he's obviously on a loan because we've got injuries in that area, and he's not someone I don't think they're going to want to sign long term. He's just someone to come in and cover it, unless he does remarkably well and changes the way the manager sees him.
I mean, Steve loves to say that Man United have the most games in the season, whatever. It's definitely going to be needed if you're playing like 50 games in a season, which is very likely 50, 55, whatever. You're going to need someone like that. I mean, I looked at the Champions League draw. We were talking about it in the group chat, and I don't think Europe's very strong at the moment. And all jokes aside, putting my biasness like I do on Vibe with Five, that's a different Joel right there. If you're talking to Five Reacts Joel, which is a completely different guy, I wouldn't be surprised if I see Arsenal or United go very far in the Champions League this year, because there's no teams in Europe that scare me, Rio. Like Man City's probably the biggest threat. Then you've got Bayern maybe because of Kane. PSG, all right, they're going to be okay, but it's anyone else's to get to the quarters, semis, or even the finals.
Yeah, we don't often agree, Joe, but I have to say I agree with this one with you. I think, Europe don't look as strong, man. I was waiting for the groups to come through yesterday, and I was thinking, right, when they came through, like, you look at certain teams like Paris Saint-Germain, they don't really scare no one at the moment. I'm looking at their team; they've lost Messi and Neymar in one window. Is that scaring anyone really? Um, you look at Kane and Bayern Munich. I think they're going to be dangerous. Real Madrid have got a fantastic squad, but they're missing a number 9. Still, they're
Yeah.
still the chink in their armour. Man City are the only complete team you're looking at and going, listen, they could go the way again. Everyone else is always a little, I'm not sure a little bit about. So, yeah, the door is firmly wide open, I think, for other teams to come in and maybe exploit that. Yeah, and Arsenal, I think they can, if they can navigate all the competitions they're in. This is the challenge for them. It's different levels now. So I see somewhere that they're third favourites. Like, that's wild to me, to be honest with you, because of lack of experience. But yeah, I think they'll be around there somewhere. I think Man United as well, a decent draw. Newcastle have got a fabulous draw. What a draw to come back into the tournament. That's the type of draw you want. Big teams in there, big away days. I can't wait to go to those games as well. I'm fortunate enough to be going to some Champions League games with TNT. So there's going to be a great game, Man United, Galatasaray. I'm penciling that in now. So yeah, some big games out there. But in terms of the big teams, like, I don't know. I said this on the group the other day. Like, we were playing Inter Milan, who weren't even a fancy team back then in the group stages, I think it was. And I'm lining up against Adriano and Zlatan. Like, I ain't seeing that outside of City or Bayern. It's like, what team's got strikers who you're gonna, or a pair of strikers who you're gonna go, raw? That is a madness. Ain't really. It's not really about, is it?
It's true. I mean, even if you look at the semi-finalists last season, it wasn't strong either. Like AC Milan and Inter Milan, they were good teams, but they weren't teams that you thought when you started the competition, oh yeah, they're going to get to the semis. Do you see what I
Yeah, and
mean?
if he was going into a semi-final and someone said to you, you're going to be marking like a mid-30s, end of his career, Giroud, you'd be delighted. No
Or
disrespect, he's had a
Jekko
great career. Or
last
Dzeko,
year.
you'd be sitting there thinking like 36, 37-year-old Dzeko. Like, you would get saying in a semi-final of Champions League, give me that all day. It's almost like it's crazy at the moment. Like, so I think it's open, but it's open up until you see Man City.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's the real deal, and then it's on
Mm.
because they're a live team.
I want to finish it off with Sergio Reguilon. I don't want to forget him. I know that you briefly mentioned him earlier on. He adds depth, really, isn't it? That's what this is about, and it is purely a depth thing, right? Do you expect him to
Just
start
cover.
or just?
He adds cover. He may start for the next. Luke Shaw, I'm seeing, is out for 10 weeks. I don't know how long Malassia's out for, but Luke Shaw's out for 10 weeks. They're saying, so he could play games immediately. Who knows? He may start and keep Dallo in there and playing left back for a little while, but he either comes in to fill the gap or he comes in to make cover for Dallo. We have to wait and see. But he
Mm.
went on loan last season and didn't play many games either. So it remains to be seen what he adds to this team.
Would you say finally, are you happy with this transfer window now?
I have to see what Hoyland does before I say I'm happy. If I'm being real, like it's an okay window up to now. The problem is, if you just put it down on paper and said, you know what, I'm quite happy with it, but bloody Mason Mount's injured now. Do you know what I mean? Hoyland signed injured. And you're sitting there going, well, our new signings ain't even out on the pitch. So, but I think Hoyland coming back, and he may play against Arsenal at the weekend. Will remain to be seen what happens there. But if he comes in and scores a goal or something, we win that game. It's a great week. It's a great window. But
Listen, I'm not
you
going to
know, one
react to
thing
the.
I'm scared about
Go on, what's that?
for some teams, I think the the Saudi league, their window stays open for another 6 days.
It stays open for almost
Yeah.
another week,
So
so we could be
yeah.
seeing
So
some big changes, man.
I'll be very scared for a few teams in the Premier League or around Europe. They could get picked off by this Saudi league with that little 5 or 6. I think it's 6 or 7 days they've got. So
Salah,
I'm
Mohamed
interested to see
Salah.
what. Yeah, Liverpool fans will not be able to sleep for the next 6 days. Facts, facts. Because they'll be sitting there thinking every chat room has Salah gone. All notifications are on. Nothing's on mute. They're waiting to see is Salah picked off by the Saudis.
Yeah. Rio, thank you very much for your time. I'll be seeing you on Sunday, all right?
Yep,
In the
yep,
WhatsApp group chats, live
yep.
match of the day. We're doing match of the day live on Sunday evening after Arsenal versus United. We couldn't wait, guys. We got to get it cracking. We do have Beyond the 90 that will be coming out next week on the Monday as well. It was supposed to come out this week, but we've moved it to Monday. We just want to make sure that we can bring to you guys the best content on 5. So make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe with the notifications. They don't count if you ain't doing it with the notifications, people. And we will be back soon. Joel Bayer, Rio Ferdinand signing out.
See you later,
Peace.
man.